Here we go.
G-timers of the tech age, baby!
Prepare yourselves.
And it's in the spirit of attempting a healthy dialogue.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, give me 1 second, too. Here. I need to,
Okay.
We'll pray to Jesus.
Let's fucking do this.
All right, I'm good.
People leaving racist comments on my Facebook page. Also, in the spirit of understanding, it should never be the responsibility of people of color to educate white people about white privilege and white supremacy. And also, in the spirit of Leslie Feinberg, who is a hero of mine and who passed away from Lyme disease in November, who said... And
You just said, so it's not their job to educate someone, but then you've then at the same time will say, well, we can't really know your experience because you're not a person of color, so how am I supposed to find out what it's like to be a person of color if the only way you're saying I can do it is by speaking to them and listening to them?
Yeah,
but it's not their job to educate me, so it doesn't really make any sense.
We can't understand their plight because we're not them, but they don't have to explain their plight because it's not their job to educate us.
Yeah.
Neat. Real convenient. We don't have you don't have the knowledge and you're not allowed to get the knowledge, but we're gonna be angry at you for not knowing it. It's like, okay, sweet.
It's just the presumption.
Sounds fair, dude.
It's a blatant way of dodging like the lack of substance in your cause. Like the only choice you have to be knowledgeable in this subject is to come to our fucking cause without an ounce of skepticism and just read all the blogs that we read and say
total
the same
deference.
things we say.
Yep.
I hope I don't fuck up this quote, but Leslie said, I do not believe that our sexualities, our bodies, and our gender expressions can be liberated without making a ferocious mobilization against imperialist war and racism an integral part of our struggle. This is a letter to white queers.
Wow, that's a great quote.
A letter to myself.
A letter to yourself.
Here we go.
Okay.
A letter to...
Very strange.
myself.
It's a letter to herself. A letter to myself. Wow, it starts with a sigh.
Another black man has been murdered in our streets.
Okay.
And I am white as a ghost, haunting my own grief.
You're really
Thinking,
not that
who
white.
am I to feel grief?
I'm way whiter than you.
Thinking, my God, who am I not to?
Uh-huh.
I'm writing to tell you about 1998.
Okay.
When Matthew Shepard, a young gay man from Laramie, Wyoming, was tied to a fence, beat with the butt end of a pistol till his skull cracked.
Yeah.
Left for 18 hours in Wyoming's frozen cold, his face entirely covered in blood, except for the places his tears had washed clean.
Okay.
I'm writing to tell you I was in a coffee shop in Seattle holding my love's hand when I heard the news.
So this is a letter to herself? Does she need to remind herself of shit she already knows?
Yeah, it's like, what?
I guess. I don't know.
Dear TJ, the sky still is blue. The grass still is green. The wind still is windy.
From my eyes immediately down to my knees, I could feel them buckle, each one of them, like a Bible belt snapping around the neck of an 18-hour scream. On the street outside the coffee shop, I could feel my last bit of unburied faith, reaching for the shovel in the dugout grave of my chest. I could feel my own mother kissing Matthew's forehead in a hospital where she knew even the doctor's God was rooting for a flat line. For weeks, I couldn't look at anyone I loved without imagining hate crushing their spines into a powder that would be snorted at a party after a football game.
Wow, you know,
meandering analogies that go nowhere sure are
she's
artistic.
really someone that would be cool to like hang out with. She's like the life of the party.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Seems like a blast.
4 months.
I want to go see a movie with her.
Hey, how you doing, Linda? How you doing, Linda? Oh, you know, my whiteness is a giant boulder of hatred and racism that's crushing me every day. I'm tromping up the slope of the bodies of black people that my forebears have buried in this country, buried in the soil. Like, Jesus Christ, man, come on.
Prior, James Byrd Jr., a black man from Jasper, Texas, had been chained to the back of a truck, dragged for miles along the concrete, conscious the entire time till his head was severed, and his remains were found in 81 separate places along the side of the road. I am writing to tell you that I do not remember where I was or how I felt when I heard that news. For a lot of our community, 1998 was the year only Matthew Shepard died. I'm writing to tell you
Wow.
I've been
Powerful
spending a lot of
stuff.
time thinking
Powerful.
for my people. What determines
How
whose
many
death will
terrible
storm my
tragic things
chest?
happen all over the world that you don't know where you were at, what you were thinking, or completely are unaware of? I mean, I understand the point that's being made that, oh, the media focused on this one, it didn't focus, but I mean, the media did focus on that. I have heard of that. I didn't know what you were talking about before you even finished the sentence. So it's not true.
Will flood my eyes, will make me want to burn down a fucking city and pray with every ounce of my winded grace that more than the smoke will rise. Last year, an older gay man in my neighborhood shot himself in his head in his own bed.
Wow, you know, like, you're really a downer.
Yeah, man. All right, so all these tragedies happened, and they're all really sad and dark and horrible. So what's the point? What are you bringing this all up for?
After his family refused to attend the funeral, refused to collect his belongings from the home, the mattress was hosed off, tossed in the backyard, and his house was foreclosed.
Okay.
I heard a rumor that the house was going to sell for an incredible deal. I immediately imagined flocks of straight people going on and on about how his grave would look fabulous with a granite countertop. I kept picturing the holiday party they would throw in the bargain of his unlivable pain, his life.
He's dead.
Hold on, it's not his grave, okay? It's the house he shot himself in.
Yeah, and he's dead and no longer needs the house.
What should happen to the house? Like, it should. No one's ever allowed to live here again, especially not if they're straight. That's disgusting. This is now a shelter for gay orphans. It's like, what?
Yeah.
Fuck.
The house you croaked in does not automatically become a fucking national monument. Like, it doesn't work that way.
It does if you're gay, Paul.
Nothing but a stain to them. Nothing but something to scrub under the rug in the new nursery.
I'm sure that the stain will be removed
Yeah.
before they move in.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a very good selling point to leave the stain there.
Yeah, you know, that's the stain where the gay dude shot himself in the face. I don't know if you guys want to. We kept it there because we weren't sure if you'd want it or not. You know,
We didn't want to piss on his grave, you know, by cleaning up his brains off the wall. So, you know, we just left it.
hope you don't mind.
I had walked by his house for weeks, imagining an SUV full of soccer cleats running back and forth over his ghost in the driveway. I had been up all night, picturing what I would say to whatever thief would have the audacity to rip up his garden and plant Bermuda grass when I finally said to my friend,
Wow.
you know...
So you're literally gonna hold a grudge against someone who dares move into this house?
Yeah, what if they don't even know about that?
How dare they defile the house that this dude lived in by daring to live there after he no longer needs it because he's dead? I mean, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it's not like they came in and murdered him and took his house.
Yeah, you know, it's like he died. His house reverted to whoever fucking owned it, maybe the bank, or maybe it was inherited, or whatever. I don't know, but it shouldn't just be preserved for all of time because his death is sad.
Right, and there's a good chance, depending on the age of the house, that someone lived there before he did.
Yeah, maybe someone else died there. Maybe he was walking on their ghost.
Yeah, their ghost doesn't matter, though, because they weren't black or gay.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
How the fuck do they know?
I've been writing for 16 years, and the word gentrification has never made it into a single one of my poems. Who are my people? Where is my rage when they are stealing brown and black people's homes? Last week, someone
steal the
posted
home,
a
you
comment
fucking
on my
moron.
Facebook page that said, you're the kind of bitch it would be a pleasure to hang. And that was tucked in between thousands of other comments equally as fucked, some of them, like yours, from people in the queer community who furiously disagreed with a post I wrote about Mike Brown being murdered by a white supremacist system designed to murder the hearts, bodies, and spirits of people of color. Something sickening to stomach in this life is the fact that we are all going to learn and grow at a pace that will hurt people, but right now, I am ready to tell you that I am furious with my own pace. Furious that I could be holding the candlestick of a microphone for this many years and have it burn this far down without...
You hear breathing?
And it's like the audacity of those to disagree with me.
She's so dramatic, dude.
Oh, this is over the top.
Was Michael Brown the case where everybody got up in arms and then the cops were exonerated and it came out that or was that a different dude?
That was Mike Brown, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a convenience
why
store
is-
guy, right?
Yeah, it was the guy at the convenience store.
Yeah, the guy that robbed he robbed a convenience store, and then the cop was exonerated.
The
cop didn't even know he robbed the convenience store, but yeah, I mean there was some ambiguity about it, but I mean I don't really feel like there was enough evidence to get a conviction on the cop. So you know, while there might still be some questions left unanswered, I don't think you can just throw innocent until proven guilty to the fucking wolves.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot more. A lot of the other cases are a lot more clear cut than
like the
that one.
Tamir Rice one was a lot more clear.
Or Eric Garner when he's got choked to death.
Yeah, I mean, like that shit, definitely. But the fucking Mike Brown thing, that was way more ambiguous. I don't know.
What about the guy that was like picked up by the cops, and then like the GPS shows that the cops just like drove all around town with him?
Yeah, those cops should be fucking fired and probably jailed.
Look, there's so many examples of the police brutality and the police just getting away with whatever. I mean, I think I just read a story about how a cop hit someone, a pedestrian, and basically is facing nothing. Just like, no criminal charges, nothing. The pedestrian had the right of way, the cop hit them, and they're just like, oh, they're a cop, so they get away with it.
A lot more light on the truth of what I know white is. You want to know what white is? White is having somebody tell you be a pleasure to hang, having a whole lot of people agree, and not even thinking to lock your fucking door that night. White is knowing if somebody is going to be hung. You are not the one. White is having all of Eric Gardner's air in your lungs, no matter how queer you are, no matter how anything you are. If you are white, you have Eric Gardner's air in your lungs tonight, and that means your breath is not yours to hold. That means our exhale is owed to mercy, to the riot of our unowned hearts.
This is overly dramatic nonsense.
What does that mean? I have his air in my lungs, so I'm stealing his air.
Yeah.
I don't.
He's dead because of you, TJ.
We all sucked his air out as a fucking collective, and that's why he's
breathe,
dead.
and he didn't, and now he's dead.
That's bullshit.
I hope you're fucking proud of yourself.
The second we saw he died, we should have died too.
Right?
It's like we're not even fit to breathe his air.
We should have just slit our own throats.
Fucking white people.
Yep.
The promise that who we weep and fight and tear down the fucking sun for will not only be our own faces in the mirror, to the knowing that we cannot be married to apathy without wearing the rings of the fucking poplar tree when our country is still lynching and
Hold on. God. We can't be married to agony without wearing the rings of the poplar tree? What does that mean? I mean, like, you never even went out of your way to make it rhyme up until then, but then all of a sudden you're gonna really reach for a rhyme? I mean, what the shit? That was hideous. That was like a throwaway rap verse or some shit.
The rings of the poplar tree. She's talking about strange fruit. The bodies hang, and so the rings of the poplar tree would be the nooses. Yeah.
I see. I didn't get the reference. But it was still a stretch.
Yeah.
The hung body shade when our country is right now rolling a red carpet from the blood that pours, and people are dying for us to notice our footsteps are red.
It's like every other day you hear about a new lynching. Oh wait, no you don't.
Violence is not a plastic gun. It is fully loaded. It has lethal aim. It is 1998, and James Byrd Jr. is not yet dead. He is walking from a party towards his house on the other side of town. And you and I are somewhere. We are somewhere, pouring what we will pour into the cups of our hearts, spilling what we will spill into the screamed open earth.
So we're all complicit. We're all complicit.
We're all complicit. We should all be agonizing over every fucking person that's murdered in this country. Only the black ones, though.
And the gay ones.
Don't bother agonizing. Oh, yeah, and the gay ones. Straight white.
And if it's a gay black one, holy shit. You better really agonize.
The female ones, too.
Yes, of course.
If it's a straight white male, though, we don't, who fucking...
We got enough of those fucking assholes running around, that's for sure. We don't need no more of them. They really suck. Hate those white motherfuckers.